Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support community TV. Some of the refreshing and satisfying products offered by Coca-Cola are Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite, Fanta, Dr. Pepper, and Moxie. 125 years and still teaching the world to sing.
Kinlan Grover Real Estate sells and lists more property than any other real estate company on Cape Cod and is pleased to support community television and the Dukes of Sports.
Heritage Floor Covering supports community television and is located in Heritage Park off Route 130 Sandwich. When you look down, we look good. Carpet, vinyl, tile, and laminates. Sales, service, and installation with 40 years experience.
Anyways, hey, welcome to the Dukes of Sports. I'm Randy Lively with Boy Wonder.
Andrew Eaton.
There you go. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Well, so this is big news.
Which one?
Tim Wakefield
That's
is
it? Okay.
officially retiring this evening.
5 o'clock. Well, this evening, depending what day of the week you're
Right.
watching this show.
This evening being February 17th.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, it was good for 19 years.
Yeah, it's too bad he couldn't have squeezed one more year out. 6 more wins, he would have tied Clemens and Cy Young for the most wins in a Red Sox uniform.
Yeah, but he couldn't be a starter anymore. He'd have to do it in the bullpen. He can't get 6 wins in a season in the bullpen.
Well, yeah, talk to Aceves.
Fair enough.
But you never know where that rotation went last year.
That's also true.
Of course, it took him how many starts to get the 200th of his career?
Yeah.
But hell, he was a good for the team, never complained. I mean, I think most pitchers would have bitched and bitched about being jerked around.
Oh, like Roger Clemens?
Or almost any of them. You know, could you see Lackey? Or Lester
Lackey.
Even, you know, I mean, any of those guys.
I could see Lester being a career Red Sox. I mean...
Oh, no, but going from bullpen to start, back to the bullpen, you know.
Yeah, but Wakefield pretty much was a starter until the last couple seasons.
And, well, more than a couple. But
in the playoffs, he went into the bullpen.
Yeah, you never even got in a game. That was a sad thing, too. The 1 year he made the All-Star team, and the damn manager couldn't even get him in for a batter. You know, he just sat and watched the game, you know, and they couldn't have even got him in for one, just to be on the field, you know.
Yeah,
I
usually
thought,
they're good about that.
Yeah, I know.
Him in for
And it's
an
like,
inning
what
or
were they
whatever.
saving him for? Saving his arm? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
That I thought that was pretty crappy on that manager's part. But, hey, he had a good
Was
run.
it Joe Torre?
I don't remember who it was. No, Torrey was in the National League by then. But no, he had a heck of a run. You know, I mean, he came up with Pittsburgh, helped them out that first year that he was there.
I thought he had played every major league game in a Red Sox uniform.
No, I think out of his 200 wins, 186 are in a Boston uniform.
Yep,
Really?
that's right.
Wow, okay. It's God.
Wow.
It's the sports
It's
God.
a vote.
Finally.
Yep, sports God. That's our research department, hard at work as we speak.
To make us look a little less dumb.
Yeah, but no, he was with Pittsburgh, and he really helped them the first year he came up. And then he floundered around. It was like anybody could have grabbed him. The Red Sox did, and hell, when he first came up with the Red Sox, he had a great run. You know, I don't know if it was a novelty of the knuckleball or what, but hey, you know, he lasted. You know, he's 45?
I don't think he's quite that old. I think he's 43, 44, but it's
All
up
right,
there.
45, Rob.
I'm looking it up right now
Oh.
because I don't know how many games he played for Pittsburgh.
I don't know how many games he played. I just know how many games he won.
Here we go. He was born in 66.
1966.
Which would make
Wow,
him,
that would make him 45.
all right.
Well done.
Jeez.
Well done.
God, I'm on a
Boy,
roll.
that was good.
I'm on a Wakefield roll.
MLB debut was July 31st, 92.
Gee, and who was that with?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay.
He was only there for one season,
Yeah.
and then he took a season off, so he must have been back in the minors for that.
Yeah, he kicked around. Nobody wanted him.
Because 94, he played for nobody. At least no major league team.
Yeah. But no, I mean, who would have thought? You know, I hope, I'm sure the Red Sox will have some Tim Wakefield Day during the course of the season, but it'd be nice if they could find a place for him somewhere in the organization.
Yeah, you know,
know,
and I
a
feel
lot
the
of
same way
years-
about Jason Varitek. I think he needs to retire. You know, being a catcher, he can't play another season. I mean, who's going to pick him up with it? He's injury prone, he's got bad knees, and he's up there in the years. Let him retire like Wakefield did. And
Well,
I have the Red Sox fine. Now, he did play these. No, he didn't either, did he? Twins?
Wakefield?
No.
He came from Seattle.
Tech.
Him and
Lowe.
Derek Lowe for Heathcliff Slocum.
Yeah, that was a steal.
One of the great trades of all time.
Yeah, I was going to say, who?
He was a relief pitcher.
Oh, okay. Wow. We traded a relief pitcher and we got a starting pitcher and a catcher? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I told you, one of the great trades of all time.
I hope there was cash involved. Or
I don't think so.
Seattle really got screwed.
But,
That's Seattle for you.
But I don't know if Wake ever played for Seattle. I don't know if he was in the minors at the time the trade was made.
Are you talking about Wake or Tech?
I mean, Veritek.
All right.
No, he never did. He was in the minors.
So he's played his entire major league career with the
Yes.
Sox.
Yeah.
He graduated from Georgia Tech with Nomar Garcia-Parra. They graduated together.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
Good. But I think, maybe Veritek could become another Dave Duncan. You know, a catcher that's a pitching coach.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's what he would be really good at, is pitching coach. That's why he became captain. That's why they kept him on for so long.
Well, he knew
is
the
because
staff.
He knew them, and they listened to him. Those pitchers listened.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if it was Lackey, who was brand
Yeah.
new, Daisuke from Japan, or Lester, who has been with the Red Sox through the minors.
Yep.
Everyone listened to him, and that's good. That was good for.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he'd be worth, keeping around for his knowledge, and I don't know if Duncan is. He followed La Russa around. I mean, he's been La Russa's pitching coach for forever, it seems, and I don't know if any other catcher has been a major league pitching coach.
Right.
It's interesting when you look at pitching coaches, even those that played, most of them weren't that good of a pitcher. I mean, you don't find ace pitchers being pitching coaches usually. It's some guy that, was lucky if he was 500. But it's like, is it like me with playing pool? A lot of times I can tell you how to make the shot.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not talented enough to do that, but I know how it should be done. So I'm thinking that must be the case with a lot of these pitchers.
Well, it's like teachers. Those who can't do teach, right?
where do your kids go to school?
My
Most
father-in-law is
superstars
a teacher.
Don't become coaches and managers. They're not very good at it.
What'd you say?
Most superstars don't become coaches and managers. They're not very good at it.
No, because they're egotistical. I
Yeah,
mean, really, the good coaches are the ones that,
Yeah, Ted Williams was a lousy manager.
Yeah, he was.
it's you got to be able to control your team. You got to,
Maybe the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that may have had some success was Frank Robinson.
Bill Russell, 1 year, player coach, the most unbelievable season in
Oh, yeah.
basketball
that's
history.
basketball. We're talking about baseball right now.
Frank Robinson.
Yeah, Frank Robinson for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It changed.
I mean, he probably had a lot more bad years than he had good years, but he kicked around for quite a while as a manager with some different teams.
Didn't La Russa play?
I don't know.
Yeah, but he was no good.
But he was
Really?
no good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Sparky Anderson played. He was no good. Earl Weaver was a minor leaguer. Frank Kona played, but he wasn't very good either.
Oh, yeah, no. His dad was good, right?
Yeah, Tito.
Yeah, he wasn't great, but
Wait, his dad is Tito? No, he's Tito.
His father was Tito.
Tito too. Yeah, he's Tito too.
He's Tito too?
Yeah. TOO or TWO.
I
Take
have
your
his
choice.
baseball card. I have his father's baseball card.
Ah,
Speaking of names,
what?
Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, did he change his name again?
He's about to if he hasn't yet.
Well, what's he going to?
Johnson. He's going back to Johnson. So Ocho Cinco will not be on the Patriots roster this season.
One way or another.
Well, the Johnson will.
I don't
He
know
signed a
though.
2-year deal.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Sounds like a good T-shirt.
So they got
Going
another.
back to Johnson.
They're on the hook for another $6 million.
I think so.
Jiminy cricket.
And now they're thinking about Randy Moss too. But
No, you
That-
really think? Nah.
I don't know if they're thinking about it. The media sure is having fun with it. But
No, they got
I
to
don't.
draft. They got. I don't know what Belichick's going to do with those 2 first and 2 second round draft
He's not going to
picks.
draft anyone in the first round. He's going to trade those picks. He'll trade them both.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, they need help.
Now, another name that I did hear, though, was Lloyd. Brandon Lloyd from Denver, who he's a receiver. He's another deep threat guy.
There's a lot of them. Vincent
He's an older
Jackson is
guy.
Vincent Jackson
Yeah.
too from San Diego was a free agent.
Yeah, there's a good crop of free agents
How old is he?
out there.
Not real old. I'm not under 30, I would say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm getting a little tired of them picking up receivers on the downside of their.
Yeah, well, that's what Lloyd would be, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He's like 33, I think. So
We were talking. I don't know if it was last week or not, but when's the Red Sox? The last time the Patriots drafted a wide receiver
oh yeah,
that did anything, and you got to go back a long ways,
Deion Branch.
and that's a long ways.
Ben Watson, but he was a tight end, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking wide receiver.
Troy Brown. I don't know if he was before Branch. I think
Could have been,
Troy Brown was undrafted.
he was undrafted.
Yep.
Wow.
but but you think with 2 firsts and 2 seconds,
Yeah,
there's got to be a young one.
but they got to.
Well, I mean, they've
defense,
drafted plenty of receivers over the years.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
Matthew
haven't.
Slater is supposed to be a receiver. They had,
Yeah.
Chad Jackson.
Edelman?
Chad.
who was the other guy?
Bill Speeds. The guy. Remember they cut last year. He was their their kickoff.
Yeah, was a
returner.
guy named Tate or something?
Yeah, Tate.
Ben
and then
Tate.
Bethel Johnson.
Brandon
Yeah.
Tate or Ben Tate? There's 2
Brandon
Tates.
Tate.
Ben
Brand-
Tate is the running back
Brandon
in
Tate,
Houston.
yeah.
Brandon Tate.
So, I mean, they've tried
Yeah.
to draft these young guys, but
Well, so
apparently they have speed but no pass catching or route running ability.
I would be okay with them trading for a deep threat receiver. And
If he's young.
If he's youngish at least, 30 or less.
Well, I'd like to say well below 30.
Well below 30 would be nice, but I'd like,
Well, if you're going to trade a 1 or a 2,
Yeah, no, I think
You
it needs to
should
be
be
someone
able
that's
to-
proven, though.
yeah, but if you get somebody that's, say, 25, 26, all right,
Yeah,
he's been around
okay.
4 years, maybe, he's
maybe.
still got some life in his legs. Yeah, you don't want somebody who's been injury prone.
Right. Well, I mean, you look at Victor Cruz, for instance, of the Giants. He's a first-year player, really. I mean, I think it's his second year in the league, but
Well, I don't even know if he was drafted. I mean, he
I
came
don't
out
know
of
if he
UMass,
was either.
So
Right.
I don't think so.
I don't
there's a
think
good
he was.
chance he wasn't drafted.
But what I'm saying is, you look at a guy like that, and you're like, well, I want him on my team. But do you? He's had 1 season. It was a spectacular season,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 1 season. I mean, T.O. had 1 good season, too.
He had more than 1 good season.
All right, he had 2.
Oh, cut it out.
I think they're going to go the opposite way. I think they're going to go defense.
They need to go defense. I
Might
think
go
if they're
an
going to
offensive
draft,
lineman
they need.
to rebuild that
I
offense line.
I agree with Rob. I think if they're going to draft, they need to draft young defensive players, and they need to trade for at least a veteran.
Well, one way or the other,
I
but
mean,
I mean, I think they need help on defense. I mean, I think they still need a guy, and granted, they don't grow on trees.
No.
But somebody who can consistently get after that quarterback, and if necessary, cover a receiver
need a
coming out of the
Brewski.
backfield.
They need a Bruce.
Brewski, or well, I'll tell you, I mentioned it before. that junior that's coming out of BC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, that guy, I don't know if it'll translate to the pros.
Yeah, you never know
But at
with
the
that.
college level, I mean, that guy was just...
With all the talk of Andrew Luck, I don't think he's going to translate into the pros. I think he's going to be a bust.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Griffin out of Baylor, he's the one that's going to really take
I
off.
don't know. There's been a lot of similar quarterbacks. Is he a big guy, but fast?
Yeah,
All right.
running quarterback.
I think
He's a Michael Vick, basically.
well, Vic isn't that big of a guy.
Vick is pretty big.
Well, he's not. I mean, some of them, like
All right,
I'm thinking of Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, Culpepper couldn't run, though. This guy can run.
But
I don't think he's quite that big.
you know, they're like 250, 260. It's like a fullback playing quarterback.
Like Tim Tebow.
Yeah. I think Jacksonville had one that was similar.
Yes.
Garrard.
Yes.
But they seem to be. Culpepper lasted a number of years, although
Yeah.
his last few years weren't productive years at all. I mean,
Once he left
they-
Minnesota?
yeah, but they weren't on winning. You know, he wasn't on winning teams. Yeah, he started with Minnesota.
And then went to
but it
Oakland,
seems
right?
like those guys. I don't
yeah.
think that was his first stop. He bounced around for a
Redskins.
while.
Yeah, he was on the Redskins for at least a season.
But
too.
it seems like those guys tend to be flash in the pans.
Yeah.
They might have a couple of good years, and then it seems like the skill level or their lack of passing ability catches up with them.
Well, this guy can pass, though. Both.
Okay.
Well, both. Luck and Luck is the passer. Luck is.
Well, yeah.
You know,
He's a pro-type quarterback.
Yeah.
I
well,
mean,
that's the similarities
traditionally.
between him and Peyton Manning is.
Yeah, well, you might
know.
say similarities between him and Aaron Rodgers.
They're
Yeah.
losing everybody. You know who else is a free agent there? Is Reggie Wayne is a free agent.
Too
He wants
old.
to come to the Patriots.
Too old.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard that he.
I think they're both going to be a bust. Both of them.
You think both quarterbacks are going to be a bust?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, because
There's a really big guy who's like pushing 300 pounds.
He's a
That's-
quarterback?
That's a quarterback. But he has an arm. He can't run, obviously. He's slow, but he's like a Roethlisberger. You know, he's just a huge guy.
Well, Roethlisberger can move.
Yeah, he can get out of the pocket
When he
can
needs
get,
to.
When he can get a few yards. He's
He
not
can
like
run
a Tim
better than
Tebow.
Brady.
Well, that's not saying.
No, I
much.
know.
You know, but yeah, I think this guy who's pushing 300 pounds, he's a lot like a Roethlisberger who can move if he needs to.
make
but
him a
he's
tight
not
end.
He's not a Tebow type that could run for 20 yards. You know,
Well, if he's that big, he ought to be able to carry a few guys for a few yards.
I would imagine.
But
I don't know if he's actually entering the draft or if he's staying where I don't even remember his name or what school he plays for. I just remember reading about it, but there's someone out there.
one way or another, they need a youngish,
Hmm?
deep threat receiver.
Yes.
And actually more than a deep threat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guy that can deliver, like Moss did in his prime especially.
Yeah.
You know, to lose. And then, yeah, I mean, I'd go, except for that, I mean, I'm satisfied with their running game.
Oh yeah. Well, as long as they can get Green Ellis back, he's a free agent too.
Really?
I think he's a restricted free agent,
Oh.
but
Yeah, him, Woodhead, you got the two rookies from last year. One, I think, who only
Ridley.
got into one. Who?
Stephen Ridley,
Yeah, and Ben Vereen, the dancer.
the dancer.
There's a dancer named Ben Vereen.
Okay.
You gotta watch more TV.
All right.
he passed away, Ben Vereen, a couple of years.
Well, I didn't do it. But
Well,
yeah,
we'll
you gotta
see what
watch
happens.
You gotta watch
we'll-
old shows on TV.
I don't like old shows.
Oh.
No special effects.
Oh, Jesus. All right. But anyways, God, were we talking about something? Oh yeah, Patriots, running backs.
well-
yeah, Vereen.
Yeah.
So
Vereen.
he may or may not be able to help.
I think
I
yeah.
would assume Falk is done,
Yeah.
but I think Woodhead pretty much fills that role,
Oh, definitely.
and you don't need two doing the same thing.
right.
So I'm happy, you know. I mean, if they want to draft somebody in a later round for a little maybe depth, fine. But But yeah, I mean, I think they need a lot more help on defense than they do offense. But I really think they've got to do something about a receiver.
Yeah.
And because Branch,
He'll play one more season.
yeah, but he's not the threat going deep that he used to be.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
he
once
admits
in a
that,
while
too.
he can, just like once in a while Welker can.
Yeah.
But consistently, no. You know, they don't scare anybody going.
I think Branch will be a good fifth receiver next year, you know? Fourth or fifth receiver.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he's...
and it's too
He is
bad that Ocho Johnson Cinco. You know, I thought
Well,
he
knows,
would play more of a role than he did.
he knows the plays now, so he'll be better.
Only
this-
took him a year. Jesus. Well, you know, who knows? Maybe he will. But I mean,
Yeah,
he's no
maybe.
spring chicken either. I don't.
No,
I
he's
don't know
not.
if he's the deep threat anymore.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's a type of him and Branch. I think of him as kind of similar.
Yeah. You know, I was hoping a Randy Moss type receiver. I knew he wasn't going to put up the numbers that Randy Moss did,
No.
but I was hoping. And call me crazy.
Crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Well,
I think
you ask.
I would like to see just for half a season, 2 games, 1 game even. To
Well,
see.
you're easy.
I know. Just I think it would be entertaining to have Randy Moss, T.O., and Ocho Cinco all lined up together.
Well, it'd be good if he had 3 balls to throw.
Just for like a game. Maybe 2. I think it would take 2. But, I think that would be entertaining. Bring him back.
Let's call that the Ego Bowl.
Right? I mean, it would be fantastic, I think.
No, like I said, there's not enough footballs to go around. Crazy. None of them would catch a pass because they'd all be batting it down, trying to get
They'd be
it from
guarding
the other
each other.
Yeah. Jeez, it'd be like the 3 Stooges on running pass routes.
Bro, it'd be entertaining at least.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
So let like Dallas do it or something.
Okay. Fine. Hey, the Jets.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It's a media circus in there, anyways, with
yeah.
them.
We should maybe we should trade Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson now, sorry, for like Braylon Edwards or
Yeah. Well, the good thing with the name change now is he's not locked into the same uniform number.
Yeah, but Hernandez isn't going to get it back.
Well, he doesn't need it back, but
He got paid.
I don't know if he did.
He did.
I thought he just gave it up without a fuss.
I think he did, but I think Ocho Cinco still paid him.
I thought he got
Anyway.
paid something.
I think he's given something.
Big Mac or something.
Maybe.
Whopper.
Rolex.
That's what it was. He gave him a gift card to
McDonald's?
like Dunkin' or
Oh, $5 gift card?
yeah, man, it might have been 50.
No.
It was pocket change for
Oh,
Ocho.
yeah, it's like a nickel for us at best. But somehow,
We're going to talk football the whole
how
time.
did we get that?
Because
we
I
were
mentioned-
talking about Wakefield.
I know, because I
mentioned.
mentioned the name change of Ocho Cinco, and then you always have to get the last word in. So
Oh, excuse me.
After the last week, we're all mourning and everything, but we have to remember the Jets did stink. So we have we
there is
gotta be
always
happy about
that.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
All right, so you printed out some stuff here that I've got in front of me, and you've got in front of you.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this.
Well,
'cause
it's college basketball. We haven't. I don't know. We've hardly
I
mentioned
think
it.
we should do a bracket
I haven't. Well,
when March
Well,
Madness
yeah.
starts. We'll do a bracket. We'll get it up on our Facebook page.
does
we'll do a
anybody
little-
ever get a successful bracket?
Very few.
I would think the only way that can happen is if 2 number 1 seeds go all the way to the final game.
Which rarely happens.
Yeah, I mean, God, 2
But,
years in a row, Butler was in the finals.
Yeah?
They're nowhere to be seen this year, but you look through the standings, and it's a lot of
People that have...
same old, same old.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kentucky, Syracuse, Missouri's ranked pretty high.
Did Kentucky actually get it done? It was last season? Did they win?
Kentucky's
No,
Calipari. They didn't.
UConn won it last
Yeah,
year.
UConn won it last year.
Yeah, I mean, they went on this unbelievable run at the end of the season. They didn't have that great of a record, but they
UConn or Kentucky?
UConn.
All right.
They swept through the what are they? Big East tournament.
Yeah.
And then obviously
They're not even listed.
no.
No, they've lost a bunch of games in a row, and Calhoun is out. And
Yeah.
they have a lot of
Oh,
trouble.
that's true. That's right, because he's.
What happens to all those
he's
teams
sick.
when they're good? Everybody leaves and goes to the NBA the next year.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
lucky.
You don't know who you got.
You're lucky if you have them for a year. But yeah, Duke's up there. You know,
North Carolina, right?
Kansas.
Oh,
yeah.
North Carolina's 8.
Yeah. Well, it depends
Well,
what
8 and
poll you're
7,
looking
yeah.
Who's
at.
number one?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
25-1.
What about anybody on the West Coast? UCLA, USC?
Nah. Syracuse is 26-1.
San
They're
Diego
number
State.
2. San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Baylor Bears.
I don't even know where Baylor is. Where is
Texas.
Baylor? Taylor?
Yeah, I just got a email from a guy. Name is Nick Joos, Joos. He used to be in the athletic department at UMass. He was a media relations guy.
Okay.
And he went with Ian McCaw, is the athletic director at Baylor. He was the athletic director at UMass, and they both went from UMass to Minnesota for maybe 2 years. And then McCaw is, I guess, a devout Baptist.
Okay.
Baylor is a Baptist college.
Ah.
So he ended up there, and for some reason, Nick is his Dave Duncan. And so Nick went to Baylor, and I can't remember what his title now. It's higher up in the athletic department chain. I don't know if he's directly under McCaw or not. But yeah, I happened to send him an email for shits and giggles a little while back to see if he remembered me, and how could he forget?
Well, right.
But he did. And
He did forget?
no, he certainly remembered me
Oh,
for
okay.
eating all their food. But no, nice. Real nice guy. And I'd love to be able to get his take on what the difference was going from UMass first to Minnesota, which is what, a Big 12 school? I think Big 10. Now it's Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12.
Too many teams.
Now down to Baylor, which is at least in basketball and football. And basketball, their women's basketball team is very good as well.
Yeah, they're like number 1 and number 2.
And to a big time school, but with a religious background to it. I just like to get his take. So
Is he around?
no, it's in Texas.
He's still at Baylor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
So we'll Skype with him. We'll set up a
well,
computer.
that's
and we
it.
can,
Well, I'm hoping at least it maybe at some point down the road have an email that I can share.
yeah. There you go.
But so consequently, there's the long answer to where's Baylor, huh? But no, I kind of, because I knew the guy, well, still do, watching the success that his teams have had, at least over the years.
Now, I don't see them. Oh, there they are, number 10. Okay.
Yeah.
9
no.
and 10.
Oh,
depending-
Marquette's in there. Florida, Georgetown, Louisville. Yeah, San Diego State.
Well, I mean, my
Michigan.
Wolverines are going to win it all. So,
Oh, here's the St. Mary Gales,
now where's that one? I don't know.
California.
Oh, it's another West Coast. There you go, Rob. There's 2 West Coast.
San Diego State is coached by Coach Fisher, the guy that did the Fab Five in Michigan. He's
Oh.
been there for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah.
He's brought a team.
Well, if he left
Out of
Michigan,
nowhere.
I don't like him. I'm a Wolverines fan when it
Oh.
comes to college stuff. So.
Bah.
Bah.
Let's see. Yeah, you got Wisconsin, Indiana, Murray State. The Murray State Racers. Now, it must have been that the people that ranked these teams were just waiting and praying for Murray State to lose a game. Because they're 25-1.
Yep.
Where are they ranked on those polls you've got there?
14 on the coaches poll and 16 on the AP.
Yeah. and this is Fox's power rankings. They're ranked 19th there. So I assume they were ranked higher, closer to the top 10 until that one loss, because they're a small southern school.
Yeah, strength of schedule. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, they were 7 on the coaches poll last week and 9 on the AP poll last week.
Yeah, and
they're playing St. Mary's. See that? Look at that.
and they won 23 in a row. So they were probably ranked, like you said, or higher. And then they got that one loss, and that was the excuse to drop them down.
Jeez.
That's what they do in football when these non-BCS teams are having good years. They rank them because they feel, I guess, they have to, and then once they lose, there you go.
Yeah.
Because even Harvard, earlier in the year, Harvard was ranked in the top 25. But
Yeah, first time ever.
yeah, that didn't last too long. Then you got
They probably lost to Yale, and there's
Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Wichita State Shockers are in the top 25, at least on this one.
Say
But-
those again.
That guy from the Knicks, Jeremy Lin, he was from Harvard.
Yeah,
Got Mississippi
Have
State.
it.
He also went to school. I mean, he was from the Chinatown in Boston, is where he grew up.
yeah.
I think Rob wants to be in front of the camera.
I think so. God, yeah, and you give him a little bit of leeway, and you can't shut him up.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, Wichita State. Now that's not a perennial
I don't even
bet.
see that on here.
Oh well, they're like 25 in this poll. So
I got them here. 24. Well, they're tied for 24th on the AP poll.
Yeah.
With Gonzaga.
and you look at on your sheets.
Yeah.
It'll be on the second page at the bottom. Teams also receiving votes. One of them
Okay.
has got Drexel in there. Now, Drexel is a team that,
Drexel, yeah.
they don't play in a strong division or anything like that. I think we talked about it one week. That's an ex-UMass coach. Bruiser Flint is their coach. That's where he went after he left UMass.
Okay.
So, but I was kind of surprised to see their.
Yeah, they got 11 votes from the coaches poll.
Yeah, no, I was kind of surprised to see that because they're not a no big name team. They're not in a strong, well-known conference or anything like that. And to even get 11 votes is pretty good for a team like that. But yeah, a lot of now. Where's Missouri in the ones you've got? There are 3 here, and
I got 3 on the coaches and 3 on the AP.
yeah, okay, 3 here
Yeah,
too.
the top 3 are Kentucky, Syracuse, Missouri, and those are the same on both.
Yeah.
And then they have Duke and Kansas switched for 4 and 5.
Yeah, same here.
They both have Ohio State at 6. They've got North Carolina and Michigan State at 7 and 8, and they're switched.
Yeah.
And then Georgetown and Baylor, 9 and 10, switched. They both have UNLV. Is that Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jerry Tarkanian's old team when he was pretty much violating every recruiting tool known to man. But you look, there's a
and then
lot of
after
teams.
after 11, they're all kind of mixed.
But a whole lot of teams with very similar records. A lot of teams with 4 and 5 losses.
Yeah.
Stretching or even 6 losses.
I don't get, this is what I don't understand about college things. I mean, I know the stupid football, they have the BCS computer that picks everything.
Right.
But in college basketball, they have people voting on all this stuff. Why? I mean, who did Murray State lose to that they got dropped so far? I mean, they only have 1 loss. They're 25-1.
Well,
and Missouri is 24-2. They should be a game ahead of them, right?
Murray State probably doesn't play the schedule that Missouri does.
Yeah, I suppose. So they probably lost to some non-ranked team. I mean, they're playing St. Mary's next. I mean, they're a ranked team.
Yeah. No, and if they lose to them, what do you see how fast they'll drop?
They'll get Drexel up in the top 25.
Yeah. That'd be neat. But, it doesn't look like, out of the top 25, of course, the top 25 is a relatively recent phenomenon. It used to be the top 20. And a few years ago, they threw 5 more in there.
But in the playoffs, there's only the 20, isn't there? No. Wait,
No, there's about a.
it's like 36,
Oh, no.
32.
It's
can't do
last I
math
knew
right
it was up to like 64 or
Are you
something.
kidding me?
Oh yeah, it's like you play basketball, great, you're in the tournament.
All right, well, we won't do a bracket till there's 32.
But they'll start the bracket with
Well,
this
that's fine.
ridiculous number of teams.
We'll start the bracket when it actually makes sense to start the bracket.
And then, you've got a lot of teams that are sacrificial lambs.
Right.
So
do they have the number 1 team playing the number 30 team on both sides? Because I assume they do separate it into some form of
No, it's
conference.
4 brackets.
four
One
bra-
plays 16 in 4 brackets.
Yeah,
One place. So there's 4 brackets?
Yes,
yeah.
there is.
Different
4
sections of the
brackets.
country.
In fact, there's more than that because there's one team that's a play-in game for the 64th seed.
Yeah, which is stupid.
God.
So there's really 65 that make it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought
so the
football
play-in
was bad.
game
All right.
is
So I don't even pay attention to like the Sweet 16 in basketball. So.
the play-in game is between two most likely small schools with so-so records that maybe won a conference championship or something. So they get to play each other for the privilege of going against the number one ranked team in the country.
Well, one
So-
of 4, right?
No, it'll be the number 1 ranked team in the country is
Oh,
who they
okay.
get
Yeah,
to
usually
play.
that is the 64th team plays number 1.
So they have this little.
So wait, I got to stop you there for a second. So
It's all about money because
I
ESPN
know.
will broadcast them all.
We've got the top 4 here. We'll go with the AP poll: Kentucky, Syracuse, Missouri, and Kansas. All right, so. If those are the top 4 teams, those are the number 1 seeds in every 4 bracket?
Yes, 4 brackets. They would be the number 1
Yeah.
seed in each bracket.
They have a seeding day where
So-
they announce the
And then the big
seeds.
thing is
Is it just random besides the top, 10? I mean, that's...
No,
no,
They take 64
No, they have
and
a-
they play the number 1.
No,
they
they
take
have a-
63, they play the number 2.
they have a committee that seeds these teams,
Yeah.
and then it's broadcast on TV now and all this stuff. And
but the other thing that happens is that you can be the worst team in your conference, but if you win your conference championship, you get in.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You
as
get
a
in.
number
You're a
16
5 and
seed
15
most.
team, but you win your conference championship, you get in.
Yeah.
Good God.
But then they play around. Like Kentucky, if they're still number 1 in the rankings, will probably be in the conference that's closest to where they are, wherever that game is played. Now, it's possible that Syracuse in New York could be a number 1 seed and get sent to the West Coast to play their games because there's no West Coast team that's number 1, or anywhere near close.
Right.
So they shuffle them around the country and stuff like that. And some
They playing
teams-
any at the Garden?
Not usually. I mean,
Well, they did last
the
year.
venues vary from year to year.
Well, Madison Square Garden gets one.
And then, I don't know. I mean, they vary. The first few games are played at one place, and then once they start whittling the teams down, that they're more bigger, well-known venues. And then, like some team, it's almost like the Super Bowl, that gets the Final Four. Because that's big bucks.
Yeah.
Not as much as the Super Bowl money, I'm sure, but it's a lot of it is dollars. I mean, same in college football. Look at the ridiculous number of bowl games
Those
there
are
are.
just... they need to go to a playoff.
They've got,
I don't want to go too deep into this, but I just don't understand in college football why they can't have each round be a bowl game.
They could.
The Tostitos Bowl. I mean, they can still get the same amount of money because
They could.
Basically the same teams are going to be playing in it, except they might actually get a number 1, seed team.
They could.
playing in it. So anyway,
but
that's stupid.
no,
and
the setup
BCS
is already there for a playoff system, but it's the college, I believe it's the college presidents that can't agree to do that.
Well, them and it's the sponsors, the Tostitos and
Oh, well, they're sponsoring
Allstate
something anyways.
They
yeah.
all get that. It would extend the season 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 whole weeks?
Well, that's
Don't they take 3 weeks off in between the regular season and
that's
the bowl
because
games?
they're all student athletes and they don't want to affect their classroom studies.
Well,
Ha,
what
ha.
is this then?
The bowl season starts about 2 weeks before Christmas now.
Yeah, but
God.
they got, the Howdy Doody Bowl and,
They-
sponsored by God knows what. But to me, it's so ridiculous. But again, it's money because ESPN, and I don't mean to pick on ESPN because I like them, but they'll broadcast these games.
Yeah.
So it's worth some bucks.
Yeah.
The Final
And-
Four is in New Orleans this year.
Good. And,
Excuse me.
but you've got teams every year in playing in college football bowl games, and more than one that have nothing but a 500 record.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many damn bowl games, they got to fill them with somebody. And to me, that's not right. I mean, you shouldn't be able to get into a bowl game if you're not at least over 500.
Well, they should be doing it in conferences, I would imagine. I mean,
Now,
they
well, the
sh-
big conferences, it's like anything else. Your Big East, your Big Ten,
Right.
ACC, they will get more teams. I mean, into these bowl games. I mean, they might have 12 teams in a conference, and 6 or 7 of them are going to a bowl game. of
right.
some
Well, that's
sort.
not right either. If
Well,
like you said, if
it's-
they're under
it's-
500, they shouldn't be. And it also makes me
Well, even if they're 500, I mean, you played the season, you finished 6-6. Does that, do you get rewarded for being mediocre?
But the way that it is with strength of schedule, if you play 3 of the top teams in the country and you lose to them, you're supposedly better than somebody that's 12-2 if they don't play anybody good.
I don't care.
I don't agree with it either, but that's how they look at it.
Yeah.
Well, then that's why I think that it needs a complete restructure, and it'll never happen. But it does
No,
need
because
it.
it's like
It-
they reward,
so-
the smaller schools can't afford, I mean, some of them play top teams.
Mm-hmm.
They might play one a year because they get paid good money to go to play this team and lose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yep.
So these smaller schools will schedule it, and they say, well, it's for the experience of the players. Like I think UMass a couple of years ago, they traveled to Kansas, and they put up a good fight for about half a game, and then the inevitable happened. But they got paid a lot of money to go there and lose,
Yeah.
and that's why they do it. And
But
it's-
the first day of the
I thought he
NCAA
was going to shut up.
The first day of the NCAA tournament is probably the most exciting day in sports to me. I don't watch all those teams all year long, but that day is there's little teams that are playing big teams and they have a chance to win. So it's kind of
Yeah, or even the second round.
Yeah.
A second round, I mean, pretty much every year, you'll find a number 13 team knocking off a number 3 team or something
Yeah.
like that.
And
It always
that's-
happens. You just don't know who it's going to be that makes that magical run. Like, what was it, a few years ago? Well, it might be 3-4 now. George Washington made it to the Final Four. And it's like, what? I mean, George Washington played in a league similar to UMass. They got hot, had a hell of a good tournament. They were the Cinderella team for that year. And it was interesting, because it's a team you never would expect. You'd never have that far in your bracket either.
Yeah.
Unless you were married
It's
to George
just-
Washington.
Right. It's all about.
Oh, not George Washington, excuse me, George Mason.
Okay, that makes a little more
See, that was a
sense.
test for Rob.
that was
I-
George
to see if-
Mason, it wasn't Bruiser Flynn.
That's right, it's George Mason.
Yeah.
But no, that was
Well-
a test for Rob to see if he was going to correct me, and it
So I
slipped
wanna-
right by
I
him.
was sleeping.
So after the first round, when they whittled from 64 to 32,
There's still some upsets.
we'll do a
right.
bracket at that point.
Okay.
And we'll invite our fans to go on our Facebook page and pick a bracket. We'll set it up. I'm sure Yahoo or ESPN has a way you can create a little league, and you can.
We're
set
going to
the
have
bracket.
Jennifer pick brackets because I think she
Absolutely.
can beat any of you guys.
She probably will.
Well, yeah.
So I do, since we're talking about playoffs.
The trick in when you're picking a bracket is you've got to be able to see into the future
Right.
and find out what's going to be the hot upset team of the year.
It's all
Who the hell
guessing.
kno- Well, that's
It's
what
all
I mean.
guessing.
You've got to be able to foresee the future and pick the right one that's going to go
I'm
for
just
a
gonna-
ride.
I'm gonna do what my buddy did when we played. We were in a football pool together. He took a coin and said, "All right, heads is this person, tails is this person. All right, I'm picking that person." That's what I'm gonna do, and I bet I'll do better than anybody else.
Well, it's funny when
I'll have
I
my wife do one.
when
She-
I was
she
younger-
picks based on the mascots.
I used to go to this harness racetrack up in Hinsdale, New Hampshire.
All right.
And at first I couldn't bet because I was too young, so I'd have to have like my parent or something.
So this
do
was
it.
during Prohibition, right?
Yeah, just before. It was the roaring 20s. And, I didn't always win, but I did okay. And so I remember one night I was there, and I think out of 9 races, I had 8 winners.
Wow.
And so my father, who's there with his stopwatch, he's making calculations in the program, he finally says, well, how you doing it? What's your system? Bet the driver. Don't matter. I mean, there are certain, harness racing, they have the sulkies. They're called standardbreds.
Okay.
They don't ride on the horses, they ride behind them. And there's drivers that do well. And it doesn't seem to matter what's pulling them, they do well. So it was, that's what I would do. I'd bet the drivers. And worked out pretty well for the most part.
Seem to have worked pretty well. I go to Saratoga every now and again.
Do you?
Yeah. I go up in upstate New York.
Now
We'll
that
hit
must
the
be a
track.
treat.
It's fun. I do all right. See, I'm biased because I spent a year in Argentina. I always bet on the Argentinian horse.
Well, there's usually not a whole lot of them running around.
No, there's usually only 3 or 4 like all day, and they usually place.
Yeah.
I just bet them to place. I don't try to bet who's going to actually win the race. Cause
Well, you could, do $1,000 to show.
good God, are you kidding me? I don't have that kind of money.
Well, neither do I, but I'm trying to spend your money, so
Oh, okay, well,
it doesn't matter to me.
Well, I
But-
do want to talk about something else here. And it's,
What?
Yeah, I know.
What, bowling?
Actually, sure.
Okay.
Actually, there is the Cape Cod Beer, who is not a sponsor, but hopefully I'm going to talk to them. They are having a team that is doing a fundraiser, and I'm thinking of joining that team. But that's bowling. It's boring. And
Candlepin? 10-pin?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Scorpion bowling.
Oh, that'd be fun.
What kind?
Wait, scorpion bowling?
Never
You know
heard.
scorpion bowls?
Oh,
Asian
Jesus.
restaurant.
Oh, God.
What do? You drink one of those and then you
One?
bowl with the cup afterward?
I'm in.
Now, right now, yeah, you're drinking for 2, kiddo.
That's right.
But now, in professional playoffs, I got into a conversation with my uncle, and he enlightened me because I'm not a big hockey fan, as I've mentioned a few times. And I don't focus much on basketball until the playoffs either. I root for the Celtics. I'll follow them and say, oh, okay, this person's hurt, this person's whatever. Now, I'm looking at the basketball, and for sure this is true. But if you're the leader in your division, it doesn't matter what your record is compared to anyone else in the conference. You're going to be in the top 3. And right now, who is it? Philly, I think, is like number 3.
Yeah, Philly.
And they have a worse record than someone from another division
Oh, well,
who's
yeah.
number 4.
Well, that happens. I
Now,
mean,
that happens in hockey, too?
yeah. But you win your division,
You're automatically one of the top 3 seeds.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like in football, the top 2 teams, get the first round bye.
Yeah.
So they have to play one less game to make the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm getting to football, but
Yeah.
yes.
But no, if you win your division, it doesn't matter what your record is.
Mm-hmm.
You won your division.
That's what happened to Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Remember, Baltimore won. They had the same record, but by the tiebreaker. So that means that the Pittsburgh became a.
Well, no, Pittsburgh ended up losing, but they still had a better record than Houston. Yes.
But they became a wild.
Well,
card.
look at what 2 years ago Seattle won their division with a 7-9 record.
Well, I know, but the way I'm looking at it is in football and basketball and hockey, I thought the top 8 teams go in. Now the chances of a division
Based on number of points. Yeah.
well
Well, in
points
hockey,
in
it's
hockey,
points.
yes,
Yeah.
winning record in basketball.
Yeah. But then
but-
they're seeded.
And then they're seeded, and always the division wins the seeds. Now but the chances of a division winner being below number 8 is slim to none.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So why don't they? I mean, great, they won the division, but they don't have the best record. Why are they? And this is my beef with football too. It shouldn't be that way, and that's
Well,
one
you
thing.
could carry that to baseball. You could have a wild card team that gets in, or a division winner, say,
Yeah.
that has a much worse record than a number 3 team who doesn't even get the wild card
But now, initially in baseball,
in a different division.
right?
Yeah.
But initially in baseball, this was the 19 teens, I believe. Well, no, initially it was the top 2 teams just played in the World Series, and that was it.
Yeah.
They didn't really have a playoff.
That was baseball.
And I'm saying baseball, initially in baseball. And then it was, I think, the 30s or 40s they started the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 70s.
Yeah.
Really? God, well, it was before mine. I mean, you would know. But, but when they started with the playoffs, didn't they do the top 4 teams or top 6 teams from each league? It didn't matter their divisions, if they even had divisions, or did it?
Well, they didn't have a wild card.
We're right.
So
okay.
it was
the top
always, you
4.
had to finish first.
But no, I mean, when the playoffs first started, did they have divisions yet?
That's when they changed it to divisions.
Yeah.
Was when they started the playoffs?
Started the playoffs.
All right.
And the
so-
reason is to keep people interested all the way up to October, because a lot of teams, like if the Yankees ran away with it in August, every team in the AL didn't care anymore come August because the Yankees were already going to win the whole thing. You know what I mean?
No, and I know, but now, okay, with the restructuring, then we'll say maybe, because apparently I'm losing my point. With the restructuring, they were at least considering eliminating divisions. And to an extent, it was, I mean, the divisions would still be very lightly in place so that
But they were going to expand.
they're
gonna add wild card.
They were adding a wild card, but it was going to be the top 6 teams, 5, whatever it was, 6 teams, right? And then 2 of them play for a friggin' what's it?
A friggin' what's that?
A 1-game playoff to make it into the thing, which they're not doing this season, thankfully. But regardless, if it's
Yeah, I mean, a 1-game playoff is ridiculous, I think. I mean, it's like you play 162 games.
right.
It's like that play-in game in the NCAA basketball
stupid.
tournament. It's 1 game. I mean,
Yeah.
why bother?
But the point I'm trying to make, I'll just try and make
Is
my
there-
point.
oh,
There
yeah,
is a
oh,
point.
okay.
It's in going about it in a roundabout way here.
Yeah, I was starting to doze off, but
I could
Call
make
me when
another
you're
old
done.
joke. Anyway, if baseball were to do that, eliminate the divisions, I like the idea of doing that. In that way, the top 4 to 6 to 8 teams, however many teams they
No,
decide
not
to
that
do,
many.
however many they decide to do, get in. The ones with the best records. Period.
No.
Now this is what I thought they did with basketball, at least.
They do
was
to a degree.
They basically just did the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, and then the top 8 teams got in, regardless. Now, and they do that.
Well, they do.
I know. No, I understand that.
except a division winner will have home court over another team that has a better
I
record.
think that's wrong, and I think that's what needs to be restructured in every playoff ever, because that's silly. The top 2 teams with the best record deserve to get the home field, home court, whatever, throughout. then in the first round,
They do.
3 and 4 should have their home court, home field, whatever it is.
Well, they don't do it that way.
They don't. You know, I just, if the Celtics are division winners, but they're 500,
I mean, it's basically the same in hockey.
right? It's all a matter of points.
You know,
but-
it's a number. Yeah, but if you're a division winner,
Yeah.
you're still gonna in the early round of the playoffs, first round, you're gonna get, in terms of home ice, preference over a team in another division with more points, as
Yeah.
long as you won your division.
Wow.
So that's like the incentive for winning your division.
They eliminate the divisions then. I don't care.
Don't
Get
have
rid
any
of them.
divisions. Just throw them all together.
Just put them
They
all
come
in
out
two
fighting.
conferences. Just have everyone fight for that top spot. the
Everybody
top.
makes the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, not everybody. I don't want a college.
5 minutes left, you guys.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
Really not even. You know, we got
So-
intro and outro, so.
Hey, I just want to take a moment just to remind people to please pay attention to beginning and the end of the show to the underwriters that we have, because they're showing, I mean, not only that they might like to be involved with a sports talk show, but they're also showing their support for community television.
It's true.
And which is important. So, you know, check out who these businesses are, and if you have an opportunity, you know, stop in, see them, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, they are promoting their business, but they're also helping out community television.
Right.
And so for that, they should be commended, as far
Absolutely.
as I'm concerned.
And we're absolutely open to new underwriters as well, where we will definitely get you in there. You'll see what's going on. So if you're a business owner or manager, or if you can make those kinds of decisions, you can shoot us an email, dukesofsports@gmail.com, because I don't think that's something they'd want to post on the Facebook page.
Probably not.
If you're interested in doing a bracket with us here, you know, we'll have Rob and Jen, Randy, myself, of course, all doing brackets. I'm starting a fantasy baseball league.
Yeah, I got your email. I haven't been able to figure out how to access it.
You click on the link.
Well,
I'll walk you through
I'm
it.
technically challenged.
You got to turn the computer on first.
No. I've gotten that far. And I've actually done the click.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm confused.
All right. Well, you got to register first, and then.
I thought I already had.
Well, I haven't checked it in a couple days, so.
No, I haven't even tried.
Okay.
Well, we'll
Anyway,
get to that later.
if you're interested in doing any of this fun fantasy stuff like that, you know, join us on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/.
Yeah, you can leave a comment. You can respond to a comment.
Absolutely.
It's fun.
Yeah. So I guess we'll
We
wrap
gotta
it
go.
up now.
I guess. Have a great week, everybody.
Yes. See you next week.
Enjoy the nice weather. "125 years and still teaching the world to sing, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support the Dukes of Sports. Some of the products offered by Coca-Cola that you can enjoy are Dasani Water, Powerade, Minute Maid Juices, Vitamin Water, Fuse, V8, and Honest Tea."
With 15 offices from the Canal to Provincetown, our experienced and professional agents get the job done, whether you are buying or selling. We also offer summer vacation rentals and can assist in mortgage financing, serving the most buyers and sellers across the entire Cape. Check us out at kinlandgrover.com.
Heritage Floor Covering supports the Dukes of Sports and has a spacious and extensive showroom to browse through. Cheryl and Russell are fully insured and offer free estimates. We sell the best and you pay less. 508-833-7600.